Now, I'm staying on Trump. He says we do need to start profiling to fight terror. David Webb is with us, Sirius XM host. Now, I'm not sure exactly what he said on profiling.
I brought you paperwork.
Oh, please. Look, he says we've got to profile.
Right.
He says that's the way you catch suspected terrorists. And now that's a very poignant and explosive political word to use, profiling.
Only because people are uninformed. Look, yes, he does. He wins on this.
But he's been losing consistently recently.
So let's educate the American people.
Go ahead.
I brought you some paperwork.
You have.
Criminal profiling, which is what we're talking about. Criminal or offender profiling rests on the assumption that characteristics of an offender can be deduced by a systematic examination of characteristics of the offense vis-a-vis young 20-year-old Muslim males, regardless of ethnicity, because they're not a race, they're not an ethnicity, they are a group. Criminal profiling, most effective investigations of serial crimes. Terrorism is a serial crime, such as serial murder. And this is the problem. People are arguing over an ACLU definition of the word, or some leftist definition of racial profiling, which is wrong, versus criminal profiling, which is a tool of law enforcement used by FBI, used by criminal psychologists, used by all elements of security to identify people. We have got to stop mixing the definitions.
But the left will walk and stomp all over this.
Let them stomp their feet, because guess what? The terrorists who walked into the Orlando bar didn't say Republicans to the right and Democrats to the left, and let me kill all the Republicans and leave the left because they let me go. They kill people. If you profile, the group that you are seeking,
hold on a second.
That's what you get to.
Donald Trump has been losing a lot of ground in the last 2 or 3 weeks because he's made some very difficult statements.
Right.
I mean, the Mexican judge. And now it's profiling. Now, wait a second. The left is going to jump all over the use of that
And by
word.
the way,
they don't care about some definition.
A little advice for Mr. Trump. Do what I just did. Criminal profiling.
But he doesn't do that.
No, and that's the problem.
He didn't do that over the weekend.
The problem is when he says it and he just throws it out there, he hands it off to a bunch of people who will run with an agenda.
Yes.
We have to operate on the facts, and he needs to do that as well. That is my critique of him, but he is not wrong in the idea that Israel and other countries do this.
He's not equipped to run a modern presidential election campaign. The man is out of control. He keeps using the wrong kind of words and the wrong kind of tone. He does.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you. What did I just say?
Straighten him out.
Well, Donald,
somebody's got to do that.
Let's sit down and talk. People have asked me that question actually, and I don't know. I said, Donald, could you straighten him out? If I could sit down with him for 5 minutes, I could get him started on a path. Aside from these political consultants who are playing this game, he does have to make sure that he does it correctly.
Yes, he
Not
does.
the first 140-character tweet, but the second sentence and paragraph matters.
David Webb, thanks very much indeed. I know you want to get into this.
Well, look, it's a very simple dynamic. We don't want Mr. Trump to change. It's why he's exciting people, because he's not a politician.
Right.
But there is an infrastructure that can be applied. I think everyone understands this. That's what he has to adapt to. I don't care that he uses the wrong words anymore. Barack Obama uses all the right words.
Hold on a second. Wait a second. I've got some news. I've got news. Here it is. According to the New York Times, Trump's campaign manager, Corey Lewandowski, has been fired.
That will change things.
That changes all kinds of things.
It will.
So there's some clarity now.
Is that a new Donald Trump? He's fired this longtime manager. He's fired him. According to the New York Times.
Yeah, that
changes the equation.
That is the fight between him and the other new hires has been clearly an issue. It means that he's taking some action here. I think that is a good sign.
Just to put it in context.
It may be that necessary evolution, to Tammy's point, to incorporate. See, I don't want him to change. I want him to incorporate and evolve properly. Again, don't give me the first word. Give me the paragraph like we just did.
Wait, hang on. We got to say the context. He was accused of manhandling a female reporter.
That's not why he's been fired.
No, that's not.
It's got nothing to do with
context.
That's it. This surely is a realignment of Trump's campaign. Surely this is a reining in of the out-of-control Trump, isn't it? Or an attempt to do that.
The New York Post reported a few weeks ago of a public fight between Mr. Trump's communications person and Mr. Lewandowski outside of a restaurant that was a scene. It clearly was not an adult event, an adult situation to occur. And so I think that there's a recognition that something has to change. This is an action that I think obviously obviously most people
I was
would
talking
agree
about a pattern here.
Okay,
Pattern.
okay. There's very important news. Corey Lewandowski, the longtime campaign manager of Donald Trump, has been fired.
And let's remember at least what I was saying before about Mr. Obama. Clearly says the right things, has a great demeanor, has an attitude
But the
people appreciate.
actions that follow.
But the country's on fire and the world is a mess.